Today we're going to make a yummy grilled cheese on white bread with tomato soup. That's the classic grilled cheese sandwich platter served at most places. That's how people most like their grilled cheese. Then we're going to make a grilled cheese on wheat. We're going to have some caramelized onions on it and tomatoes, and it's just going to make the sandwich that much better. We're going to serve that with sweet potato fries with some Parmesan garlic on it. It'll be outstanding. Then we're going to make an Italian grilled cheese, which is going to be on sourdough bread, and it gets provolone cheese, tomatoes, and some golden Italian dressing. It's one of my absolute favorites to make and eat. And then we're going to go and finish off all our grilled cheeses with the ultimate grilled cheese. It comes on wheat with a couple different kinds of cheeses, sliced tomatoes, grilled onions, grilled cucumbers, and avocado. We're going to serve that with some avocado fries. We're going to make some yucca fries today too. I don't know if you've ever heard of yucca, but it's a root vegetable. I'm fairly new to it. I went out the other night to a restaurant and had some, and I was like, I got to learn how to make them. So I did some research. It's not killing vampires here. I did some research and I made up a few recipes, and it's really good. So it's harder than like French fries, let's say, but it's worth the extra effort for the flavor that we can get out of it. What we do when we're cooking is we figure out what's going to take the longest to cook, and we start that first. So hopefully all of our ingredients are done around the same time, so everything's nice and hot, and you're not waiting on something. So I think the thing that'll take the longest amount of time is our tomato soup. So I think I'm going to start with that. I'm going to grab 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and 2 cans of evaporated milk. These cans are 28-ounce cans, 2 of them. We're going to go right in our pot. Going to cook it on medium. And our evaporated milk. These are 12 fluid-ounce cans. Evaporated milk and condensed milk are 2 different things. Evaporated milk doesn't have sugar. Condensed milk, they take the water out and they replace it with sugar, and it's more like candy than milk. Then we're going to give it a nice good stir. Okay, and we're going to add some sucralose. A lot of times it goes by the name of Splenda. This is just regular granulated sucralose. We're going to add a ½ cup. That's going to give it the sweetness that you normally get in canned tomato soup. We're going to add salt and pepper. We got some kosher salt, and we're going to use some fresh ground black pepper. Don't be afraid to use a lot because this is a lot of soup. Now we're going to start our water for our yucca fries. And we're going to salt the water on that with just plain old table salt. And let's prepare our yuccas. They come with a waxy coating on them. They have to be peeled. This is not good to eat. All right? So we're just going to use a vegetable peeler. We have to get all the purple off, because that's not good tasting. So you got to get the wax, the brown, and the purple off. Like I said, it's more work than French fries, but it's going to be worth it. All right, we got to cut the ends off. We're going to cut it into about thirds, we'll say. So they're more manageable pieces. And cut those thirds in half down the core. There's going to be a core inside that's really hard and fibrous, and you don't want to eat that part. So you just kind of cut out the center. Basically, this is the same thing you would do if you're making mashed potatoes. You're going to cook them. Same way, except not as long, because we're not making mashed yuccas. You could make mashed yuccas, but we're not making that today. All right, we have our yucca cut. What we're going to do is put that in the water when it's boiling. So once this water starts to boil, we're going to cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's not an exact time. You just got to keep checking it. You gotta be able to stick a fork or knife into it and have it go in and come out easily, but you don't want to overcook it because then it won't work. Now that we have our tomato soup going and we have our yuca fries boiling, we can go ahead and prep our onions. We have some medium yellow onions. I'm just going to go ahead and prep those up. We're going to get those started grilling. All we did is cut the top and bottom off, and then cut it in half, and now we're going to make little half circles out of them, which when you're grilling an onion, it seems to be the best way I've found. Alright, I have already preheated my flat top grill. You can pick these up at any like Mega Mart or wholesale club. This one was about $150, but they have ones that are out there for about $20. They also have ones you can set on your stove and they heat up, and those work good too, but you really need a nice flat top grill to make grilled cheese. That's where the name came from, grilled. If you're doing it in a frying pan, make sure the frying pan's big enough to fit 2 slices of bread side to side. If it's not, then you won't be able to make a good grilled cheese. So we're going to put some olive oil on our 350-degree grill, and we're going to get our onions started. Ooh, hear that sizzle? So that's going to be for our second grilled cheese, but we're getting the onions started now because we don't want to wait for it. Here's the classic American grilled cheese. We got our American cheese and our white bread. This is a nice white bread. If you have a wider bread, you can get a lot more cheese on there, and who doesn't want more cheese on the grilled cheese? When you're buttering the bread with margarine spread, make sure you do it edge to edge because that's where the flavor is coming from. Second slice. And what we're doing is we're grilling both sides of the grilled cheese at once. A lot of times you'll see people make grilled cheese and they make a sandwich first and then they cook one side at a time, and that takes twice as long. So that's kind of silly. So we got 2 buttered slices of white bread and 4 slices of American cheese. You can use less if you don't like the person you're making it for. You can use more if you're making it for yourself. But you need at least 4, I think, to get the nice gooey, cheesy, melty goodness from a grilled cheese. While that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut my tomatoes. We have here a tomato shark or a tomato corer. The way this works is it cuts out the part where the tomatoes attach to the vine. And that way that doesn't end up in your food. And basically what we're looking for is maybe like a 1/8 inch slice. These ends, these aren't really good in sandwiches, but what you can do is just dice them up, and we will save them for later. Now that our tomatoes are sliced for our next sandwich, see how we're not wasting time waiting around, we're multitasking, multitask. We can go ahead and get our cucumbers ready. Gonna just cut off the ends. That's good for cooked food. And what we're going to do is score the cucumber with a fork. This does 2 things. It makes it look fancy, and also when people bite into a cucumber, they're not going to accidentally pull the whole slice of cucumber out of their sandwich because the skin holds it on. So now that we have it all nice and scored, we're just going to go ahead and slice it. We're looking for a kind of, again, 1/8 inch slice on the cucumber. We're going to be grilling this cucumber. And we don't want the inside to be cold and the outside to be grilled. We don't want it too thin because then it'll get too limp and it won't be good either. So just a happy medium. Our yuca's boiling away. We're going to turn that down a little bit. It's looking good. What we're looking for is a slight yellowish color. It's going to change from white to a slight yellowish color. All right, back to our grilled cheese. Our bread is getting nice and golden brown. Probably looking at about 1 to 2 more minutes. It does take time, but if you cook it too high, it'll cook quicker on the outside, but not on the inside, and you're not going to get a golden brown and delicious look, feel, flavor to it, which is what we're doing this for, is the flavor. I mean, we could eat food that doesn't taste good just for sustenance, but this is to enjoy the flavor. So you cook it low and slow, 350. At 350, it won't burn. If you go to 375, 400, you're going to burn your sandwich. Not a good sandwich. Our onions are doing good. What we're going to do is flip the top of the grilled cheese down, And now it's together. And what we want to do is wait for the cheese from both slices, all 4 slices of cheese, both slices of bread, to meld together and just make yummy grilled cheese. So this is about 1 minute to 2 minutes. And this is kind of important because if you don't do this, then the cheeses won't stick together. Grilled cheese sandwich. We can squeeze the cheese out. Put it like that. It's nice and cheesy and melty. We're going to serve that with a pickle spear, like you get in every good diner. And we're going to serve that with a bowl of soup. Now we're going to start on our next grilled cheese, which is our grilled cheese on wheat. And we're going to add grilled onions and sliced tomatoes. It sounds simple, but it's just a totally different flavor than you would get on a regular grilled cheese, a normal grilled cheese. Again, butter the bread edge to edge. And we're going to use 4 slices of cheese once more. Our onions are coming along nicely. I'm going to put 2 nice slices of tomato on there. You can use more or less depending on how big your tomatoes are. In this case, we're using 2 tomatoes and grilled onions. A wise man once said, the further north you go, the better the tomatoes are. We live in Florida, so these tomatoes aren't that great. But we make do with what we have. We've already preheated our deep fryer, and we're going to start our sweet potato fries. I'm just going to cut some French fries out of sweet potatoes. It's pretty simple. Want to wash them first. I'm washing them first. I'm not peeling them. These are harder than white potatoes, so it's not as easy to cut. So you got to be careful to not cut yourself because you're dealing with more pressure. But as long as you're careful, you'll be all right. We're going to make them the size of like steak fries. We're going to drop these in our vegetable oil in a 350 to 375 degree deep fryer. Those are going to take anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. It takes longer than a white potato French fry because it's just more dense. So you just keep an eye on them. When they start to float and look golden brown and delicious, they'll be ready. Our grilled onions are ready to go on our grilled cheese. We're going to set the rest of the onions aside for our next grilled cheese. We're going to add some olive oil to the tomato soup just for flavor. Yuca is looking good. I'd say our yuca is perfect right now, so we'll take it out of the hot water and drain it in a strainer. We're going to turn down our soup because it's looking like it's boiling over, which means it's thickening up, which is what we want. I think it's looking good. Checking our grilled cheese with onions and tomatoes. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. All right, again, we're just going to let it set about a minute or two so all the cheese melts together. It's going to have a harder time melting together because it's got to melt through grilled onions and tomatoes. Give our sweet potato fries a little shake, and we're ready to plate this. Have our plate. Whole wheat bread, grilled cheese, add grilled onions and tomatoes. We're going to cut it on an angle. Squeeze it a little bit. Oh, that melty cheese. Look at that. Again, a pickle spear, just because I can. Do a little bit of parsley. There we go. So that's our second grilled cheese. Our sweet potato fries are about a minute away. So we'll get the stuff ready for that. They're going to get garlic, salt, and Parmesan. They're going to be amazing. Flavor combination is out of this world. So we got our kosher salt. It's a Romano Parmesan blend. I like that better than just the plain Parmesan cheese. And this is the powdery kind, not the good deli kind. All right. Sweet potatoes look like they're ready to come out. First thing we're going to want to do is salt them while they're still hot and greasy, because that's how the salt will stick. Then we're going to go with the cheese, because we want that to be all melty, gooey goodness. And garlic. And we'll put some parsley flakes in there. If you get California garlic, it's called, it already has parsley flakes in it, and that's fine too. And that's going to go on our grilled cheese with tomato and onion. Now that our sweet potato fries, gotta try one. Amazing. Once the sweet potato fries are out of the fryer, we can put our yuca in. This is going to probably take 2 batches to make, because this is like a 3-quart fryer, I want to say. They should feel like a baked potato at this point in your hands. And we're going to cook those until they're golden brown and delicious. Okay, we're going to start our Italian grilled cheese. We got this sourdough bread from the bakery, local bakery. It's not sliced. They didn't have a thick slicer there, so I said I'll slice it myself. I'll show you a little trick I learned to make bread even slices. We're going to slice this so it's long. This, again, treat for me later. To get even slices, you can use the width of your knife to make it the same every time. So these are going to be really thick slices and a really thick sandwich, okay? So we got our 2 biggest slices from this bread, and we're going to do the same thing that we did before, butter the bread. Now, they're together, and we want them to come together as a sandwich later, so we're going to butter the outsides. The square bread, it doesn't really matter. Square is a square, going to match up, but when it's a loaf like this, then it does matter. The more butter, the better. That's where the flavor comes in. And get our provolone cheese. I like the pre-sliced cheese and meat. I worked in a deli for a few months, and I saw what went on there, and I never went back to the deli case for my meat or cheese again. This is sliced in a factory, so 50-50 shot, you know. This bread's a little long. We're going to use 6 slices of provolone, because they're a little bit smaller slices of provolone. If you had bigger cheese, use less slices. Smaller bread, again, less slices. But if we can fit more cheese on there, why not? And we already have our tomatoes sliced, so we're going to go ahead and put tomatoes on there. And we're going to put golden Italian dressing on this. I've only been able to find it in grocery stores in these little packets. Kraft makes one and Ken's makes one. I prefer Ken's. But it's golden Italian. If you can't get it, you can use regular Italian. It's just not going to be as yummy. So we just put a little bit on the sandwich, just like that. And we're just going to wait for the grill, the bread to grill and the cheese to melt. Check on our yuca fries. I'd say they're about halfway there. Check on our soup. I'm going to turn that on low, warm. I think it's ready. Looks good. We're going to grate some mozzarella for the top of that tomato soup. This is our knuckle bustard, our box grater. I'm just going to grate enough for a couple bowls. We're going to put our tomato soup there. And with fresh mozzarella. Look at that. A little bit of parsley. I'm guilty of putting that on most everything. Love parsley. Right now we have completed our first 2 grilled cheeses. Our normal grilled cheese with tomato soup with a little bit of added mozzarella. Our whole wheat grilled cheese with grilled onions and tomatoes. And sweet potato fries. I gotta do it again. Wow. Oh, so good. Okay. Our yuca is cooking. Grilled cheese, gonna take a minute. Gotta wait for the provolone to melt and the bread to get golden brown. While that's starting, we're gonna start grilling our cucumbers. Yes, grilling our cucumbers. And we're gonna warm up our grilled onions. At this point we have our cucumbers and our grilled onions on the grill. That's going for our next sandwich. This bread's looking almost there. We're going to use the rest of our packet of golden Italian dressing to go on the side of this sandwich for dipping. We put Parmesan cheese on the outside of this sourdough bread so it gets nice and brown and melty and extra cheesy. Flip our cucumbers. That's going to be for Albie's Ultimate Grilled Cheese, coming right up. We're going to start working on our avocados for our Ultimate Grilled Cheese. We're going to make avocado fries. You say you've never heard of them. Me neither. Kind of made them up one day when I had some avocados that weren't quite ripe, and I was trying to figure out just how I could eat them while they weren't ripe, because I love avocados, but not a fan of unripe avocados. We're going to pretend these avocados are potatoes and make french fries out of them. When they're really hard like this, it's basically the same principle as a french fry. Ready to plate our Italian grilled cheese. It's going to go on our cutting board. Okay, now that our avocados are peeled, we're just going to go ahead and slice them up like steak fries. Alright. We're going to pull our yuca out now. That looks perfect. Okay, we're going to sprinkle it with some salt, kosher salt, some parsley flakes, and some olive oil. Just for flavor, And that's going to go with our Italian grilled cheese, our yuca fries. Now that that's ready, we can put our avocados in the deep fryer, just like this. No preparation other than peeling and cutting needed. Now we're going to start our final grilled cheese. It's Albie's Ultimate Grilled Cheese. I like it on wheat. Sprinkle of Parmesan Romano grated. Then 2 slices of American. And 2 slices of provolone cheese. You can use white American and Swiss. You can even use Limburger cheese if you want, but I'm not gonna. Get some tomato, sliced tomato, grilled onions, grilled cucumber. Let that sit on there. Then we're going to take our ripe avocado. And take a small bowl and just gut out the avocado just like that. Nice and ripe. Then we're going to add a little bit of kosher salt and just mash it up. What we're doing is making the most basic guacamole. It doesn't have all the other things that normal guacamole that you think of would, but technically it is guacamole. I did look it up on Wikipedia. Okay, now that that's all mashed up, this you want to wait for the complete end of anything you're doing, just for the simple fact that without any lime or lemon juice in it, it's going to go brown quickly. So basically this is acting like maybe like a mayonnaise on the sandwich. It has a very similar taste to mayonnaise. Our avocado fries are done. They don't take as long as the sweet potato fries or the yuca. All we're going to add to these is salt. Alright, so those are done. This has more stuff than cheese. It's ridiculous how much stuff this has. A lot of people tell me I like salads on my food because I order everything I get with everything that comes on it, just because I love flavor combinations. Take a look at that. Oh, yeah. You can just see all the toppings dripping out of that one. We're going to serve that with our avocado fries. And the rest of that simple guacamole we made with avocado and kosher salt. You can never have too much avocado on anything. So today we made a grilled cheese with tomato soup, and it's got mozzarella cheese on it, a little bit of parsley. Then we moved into something a little bit more advanced, our grilled cheese with tomatoes and grilled onions, with Parmesan garlic sweet potato fries. Then we have our Italian grilled cheese with sourdough bread, sliced tomatoes, provolone cheese, golden Italian dressing, served with yuca fries. And then we have our ultimate grilled cheese on wheat with Parmesan cheese on the outside of the bread, provolone cheese, American cheese on the inside of the bread, grilled cucumbers, grilled onions, sliced tomatoes, served with our avocado fries, and a side of simple guacamole. I had a great time cooking for you guys. I hope you learned a little something today about grilled cheese. And for more information, visit albieinthekitchen.com and subscribe to our channel. And be excellent to one another. Have a good night.